Okay, we're looking at the PA6-5, table of values, page 12. If we look at this, we've been looking at patterns, and now we're going to be looking at tables of values. So in this first one, it says that Cody creates an increasing pattern. So increasing pattern means that it gets bigger each time with squares. He records the number of squares in each figure in a table of values. He also records the number of squares he adds each time he makes a new figure. So if we look at this one that he's got, if we look at figure 1, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So for table 1, we write 4. Okay, for figure 2, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for figure 3, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so then it wants you to figure out what the difference is between each number of square. Well, we can see that this goes up by 2 and that goes up by 2, right? It's 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 plus 2 is 8. So through this, we can create a pattern or a rule for this number pattern. We know that the rule is we start at 4 and we add 2 each time. Okay. So that's the rule for that. So if you look at question 1, it says Cody makes other increasing patterns with squares. How many squares does he add to make each new figure? So you've got to think about, if you look at the number of squares side, right? So we're looking at the number of squares. You have to figure out what the difference between each figure is, each number is, okay? You're going to write your answer in the circles, and then you're going to write the rule. So what does it start with? For A, it starts with 2, and then it goes up by how much? It goes up by 6. So the rule is start at 2 and add 6 each time. Okay, so pause the video and you can do question 1A to F. Okay, for question 2, they've made the pattern already. We have to extend the number pattern. Okay, so in the figure side, it just tells you what figure number you're at. So the first figure, there's 2 squares, right? So we can imagine if it was like this, right? In the second figure, it would be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Right? So this is figure 1, this is figure 2, and then it would go on to 18. I'm not going to draw that because that would be too many. But we can figure out the difference. So from 2 to 10, it's 8. And then from 10 to 18 is also 8. So it's going up by 8 each time. So now we can extend that pattern, right? So the 4th figure, the 5th figure, the 6th figure, they're all going up by 8. So 18 plus 8. 8 and 8 is 16. So it's going to be 36. Plus 8. 36 plus 8 would be 44. Plus 8 would be 52. And that's where our pattern would finish. So I'm able to extend my pattern based on what I already know. So if you do question 2, A, B, and C, you can draw the circles yourself to show the difference between each number of squares, and then pause the video and we'll move on to 3 after. Okay, for question 3, slightly different. After making figure 3, Cody has only 35 squares left. So we know Cody has 35 squares left. Okay, so we have to figure out, does he have enough squares to complete figure 4? And then you're going to circle your answer. So is yes or no. So if we look at the first one, we have figure 1, which has 4 squares. Figure 2 has 13 squares. Figure 3 has 22 squares. Now we have to figure out, is the fourth figure more than 35? Well, let's see what it goes up by. So for 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, so it goes up by 9. Does this one go up by 9? 13 plus 10. 13 plus 10 would be 23 minus 1, 22. Yes, so that also goes up by 9. So we have to add 9 more to get the last figure. So 22 plus 9 would be 31. So we would circle yes. So if you complete B and C and circle the right answer, then you can pause the video. Okay, question 4. You're going to do this in your exercise book on the left side. You're going to have to make a table of values. So I want you to use a pencil and I want you to use a ruler for straight lines. And you're going to make a table of values to show which figure in the pattern will need 15 shapes. So if I do this one first, I've got figure 1, the figure number, and I've got the number of squares. Okay, so in this figure, the first figure has 3. Figure 1 has 3 squares. Figure 2 has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares. And figure 3 has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11. We got to figure out which figure in the pattern will need 15 shapes. So between there and there, we've got 3 plus 4 makes 7. 7 plus 4 makes 11. So then I don't have enough room, so I'm just going to do it over here. So figure 4 would have 11 plus 4, which would be 15. Right? So for A, the answer is figure 4 will need 15 shapes. So in your book, do that question and then do B. And we'll move on. Okay, question 5. You're going to make a table of values for the first 4 terms. Okay, that's another way of saying figures. Okay, so it gives you the rule. So 5A says start at 5 to get the next term, double the number, and subtract 2. So we know we're going to start at 5. We're going to make our table of values again. So this is our figure. We'll call it a term because that's the language we're going to move on to. And the number we'll still use squares just for the sake of this. So we don't get confused. So the first 4 terms, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. So this A says to start at 5. So the first term will be 5. To get the next term, we're going to double the number. We're going to double the number. That means times 2. And then subtract 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. Take away 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Minus 2 is 14. 14 times 2 is 28. Minus 2 is 26. Okay? And that's my table of values for A. So you're going to do the same thing for B, C, and D. And then question 6 says, In question 5, which two parts resulted in the same pattern? So you're going to have to look at your table of values and see which one created the same exact pattern. Okay? And then you're just going to say it was either AB or BC or etc. So that's all you're going to do today. We're going to leave the last page for next time. But yeah, have a good day.